For this brand new year, I want to challenge you to completely disappear and don't come back until next year or until you're completely unrecognizable. Now, in this video, I'm going to be going over my 7 laws for completely changing your life. Now, these are the same laws that I followed when I was looking to quit my 9-to-5 job. I was at a job that I absolutely hated, and I wanted to be able to travel the world, spend more time with my family, be able to go to Whole Foods and buy whatever I wanted, and more importantly, provide for my family. Not only my wife and kids, but my parents, my wife's parents, my brothers, my sisters, my wife's brothers and sisters. Because at the end of the day, it's not about making millions of dollars. It's about how you can provide for you and your family. So if you want to take this unrecognizable challenge this upcoming year and completely change your life, I want you to say down below unrecognizable. Now let's get into it. Now, I truly believe that these 7 laws will completely change your life, and I'm going to walk you through every single one. Now, of course, I don't mean to completely quit your job and never talk to your family again. But what I'm going to show you is how to work on you, your personal development, your physical self, your mental self. That way you're completely different in the next year. All right, so law number 1 is called freedom mode. Now, this is extremely important, so please listen up. This was the exact same mindset that I tapped into when I was at my 9-to-5 job. You see, if you're at a workplace, your coworkers may ask you, hey, let's go out for a drink. Hey, let's go out and do this. Hey, let's go to this party, let's go to the club, right? At least that was the case for me when I was at my 9-to-5 job. Now, I call it freedom mode because if you can tap into this for the next 180 days, your life is going to be completely different by next year. Now, let me explain, right? While they're out partying and drinking and going to lunch, I was at my office, I was at home, I was studying, I was focusing on learning and building the skills that I needed to build my business. Now, we had a full hour of lunchtime where people would go out and eat. For me, that was valuable time that I could be learning or watching courses or listening to a book or be on a podcast, because while they were wasting an hour eating and going out, I was actually mastering my skills. Now, I know that's lame, it's boring, you're weird. Well, I don't care. I was sick of my job. I didn't want to be like them. I wanted to be like the top 1% in the world. So if people thought I was a little bit weird, well, I don't care. Look at me now, right? Because I didn't fall into that trap of wasting hours with them, going out after work. I would spend time not only learning how the business worked, mastering my skills, instead of going out with them even after work, go get a drink. No, I would actually go to the gym. I would focus on my body, my mental state. So for freedom mode, this is what I want you to do for the next 180 days. First thing, no drinking, no smoking, no vaping, none of that. Number 2, do some sort of exercise at least 5 times per week, whether that's running, weightlifting, CrossFit, something to get your body moving. Number 3, I want you to do some sort of meditation or breath work at least 10 minutes per day. Now, for me, that's actually my prayer time. But if you're not a believer, then that's okay. I completely understand. Do some sort of breath work, meditation, gratitude. That way you're getting into the right mental state. All right, the second law to becoming unrecognizable is getting rid of your vices. Now, this is going to be hard because so many people are looking for that fast dopamine rush, right? People go and drink alcohol, or they watch pornography, they go smoke weed. They want that instant dopamine hit. Now, I'm going to level with you. These vices are killing you, especially as a man, as a provider. You have to get rid of these vices, and you got to focus on you and your mental state. Now, it may not even be any of those things. It could even be you watch too much Netflix, or you're spending hours gaming, or you spend hours upon hours scrolling on Instagram and Facebook. These things are not going to get you to where you want to be. Instead, I want you to completely cut these things out. That way you can focus on freedom mode. And you'll notice as I go through every single one of these laws, they're all gonna play a role together. Now, of course, I'm not perfect. I still get trapped in some of these things. Sometimes I will binge watch a whole show of Netflix, but then I realize this is not gonna help me in my business. Even now, I've been able to make millions of dollars, and I still go back to some of those things, but I realize that that's not my standard. And now that I know my standard, I can always go back to where I need to be. But if you're currently trapped in that spot, or maybe you're even addicted to some of these things, you need to find a bigger purpose in your life. You see, most people are looking for that quick dopamine hit, but the true secret to success is delaying gratification, getting that dopamine hit later, right? Because when I get a huge win in my business, even after 6 months, a year, 5 years later, that's the greatest feeling in the entire world. Way better than a 5-second dopamine hit. Law number 3 is committing to a physical challenge every 90 days. Now, if you want to achieve the level of success that you want and the freedom that you deserve, then this is critical. Entering some sort of physical challenge. Now, it has to be something physical, whether it's a marathon or a CrossFit competition or doing some sort of swimming event. This is so important because it's going to help you build your resilience. And of course, you're going to be getting stronger physically, which is going to help you mentally in your business and in your personal development. Now, last year, I committed to 3 CrossFit events, a military event called the Murph, and a few other events. And I got to tell you, that completely changed the way I go about my business, because when you start training for these events, it totally shifts the way you train. Because let's just say you have an event in the next 30 days. Well, one day that you miss in your training is going to completely mess you up for your event. So for example, when I was doing my CrossFit events, I knew that I had 4 weeks to train. So I committed to training 5 days a week with 2 days rest. Now, when I set this commitment of 5 days per week, I knew in my mind that I had to train, because when I got to the competition, I knew if I didn't do a certain amount of training that I was going to be weak at certain points. Now, why is this important and why does it even matter in business? It's just some silly competition. And yeah, it could be. It could just be some local event, but the important thing is that you're building your resilience and your discipline. You see, when I sign up for an event, it's important that I train a certain amount and I set myself with a certain level of training. When I do this, I force myself to not only train those certain days, but I give 110% every single time I'm training, because I know if I slack in one of those workouts, because when I get to the event, if I didn't give it all, I'm gonna struggle and I'm not gonna do very good. Now, I want you to pick something in the next 90 days, and it doesn't have to be something crazy. If you haven't done anything physical, just do something that you can do. Maybe it's a 5K or a 3K or even a 1-mile race. I want you to do something that's gonna get you out of your comfort zone, but I want you to sign up for it. That's gonna get you out of your comfort zone so you can start training. Even if you do it by yourself, I want you to set some sort of goal. And once you set that goal, I want you to figure out how many days a week you're gonna train, and I want you to stick to that schedule, because when you get to that event, you're gonna be happy with the results. All right, so now we're going into law number 4, and that's learning a high income skill every single day. Now, this is so critical to achieving the freedom that you want. You see, I was able to quit my 9-to-5 job, not because I learned some silly system of how to make money online, but because I was learning high income skills. And these skills were things such as digital marketing, creating funnels, copywriting, creating content, learning how to sell online. These are the things that made me a millionaire. But I want you to focus on learning a high ticket skill every single day. Now, we do have an entire program designed to teach you these high ticket skills, not only for yourself, but that way you can sell them to other people. You see, these skills are even more valuable than learning how to be a doctor or a lawyer, because these skills skills are the things that these doctors and lawyers will pay you for. And things such as digital marketing, building funnels are things that we teach you inside our new Leave Your 9-to-5 Freedom Hackers Challenge, which I'll leave down below in the description if you want to check that out. Now, I want you to understand that learning a high-ticket skill is not just about taking a course, although that is one of the fastest ways to get you to where you want to be and teach you the skills that you need. But when I say learn a high-ticket skill every single day, that means spend at least 30 minutes a day listening to YouTube videos or podcasts or audiobooks or a course that you bought. And when you do this every single day, even 30 minutes a day at least, you're gonna start to compound these skills. And after a whole year, you're gonna know more and more, and people are gonna pay you because they want to learn how to do this skill as well, or they just want you to do it for them. So I want you to step out of your comfort zone, stop watching Netflix, stop binging things, and learn a high ticket skill every day. Law number 5 when becoming unrecognizable is focusing on your education. Now, this is similar to law number 4 when we're focusing on income producing activities, but with education, this is where you actually focus on implementing the skills that you're learning. Now, I want you to understand the power of education. I'm not talking about college or high school. Honestly, I think that's all a scam and it's a waste of time and money. I'm talking an education that can actually make you real money, a millionaire. I've learned so much in my personal development and education that I know how to make millions of dollars online. Now, if you knew how to make $1 million online, then you would do it, right? But you don't know how to do it, and that's okay. You need to learn. You need to prioritize that education. Now, whether you're learning that from me in any of my courses or programs or coaching programs, I don't care. I just want you to start learning and prioritizing your education because you need to learn the fastest way to get from zero to $1 million. And the only way that you're going to do that is when you educate yourself on how to do this, how the skill works, and how it can work for you. And if you're asking, Jonathan, I have no idea where to start. Well, start with my Leave Your 9-to-5 Freedom Hackers Challenge. I'll leave a link down below. Now, if you've taken that challenge and you want to go to the next step, check out Freedom Breakthrough, where I teach you the skills. I coach you through the process, and we walk you through step by step how you can learn this entire business and implement as soon as humanly possible. Law number 6 is getting out of your comfort zone every single day. Now, it's so important that you do this because if you're not constantly getting out of your comfort zone, then you're not going to see the success that you want. You see, I've had to force myself to do some of these things that I do now every single day. And when you start to get out of your comfort zone, you start to do the things that you don't want to do that are going to make you more money. So for example, I knew for years that I needed to turn on my camera and start making videos, but I didn't do it for years, and I could have been at a way higher level that I am now, but it took me so many years to get out of my comfort zone and start learning the skills of how to create content online. Now, of course, I finally got out of that comfort zone, and I've been doing this for the last 5 years, and I've made over 1,000 videos here on YouTube, and I continue to get out of my comfort zone and get better and better. Now, what I'm talking about is not really in your business, but when you do these small getting out of your comfort zone exercises every single day, you start to train your mind to do this all the time. So for example, some of the things that I do every single day is do 30 minutes in the sauna, right? It's hot. I don't want to be there. And I force myself to get in this sauna where it's 160 degrees and focus on my breathing and sit there until the time is done. Another one is I do CrossFit almost every single day. And if I don't do CrossFit, I'm in the gym lifting heavy weights. And it could be as simple as waking up and doing a cold shower for a minute. And yes, there's health benefits to all those things I just mentioned, but forget all the health benefits. The whole goal of this is to start getting out of your comfort zone, and you want to do it every single day. Now, as I started to do these things, my business started to take off because I started to get asked to speak on stages, which honestly, I was so scared to be able to speak on stages because I was used to making videos like this. But because I trained my mind to get out of my comfort zone every day, it became easier to do the things that I didn't want to do. So I encourage you, pick something that you don't want to do and do it every single day. Now, the last and final law is mastering communication. Now, this skill is the one skill that I would say has made me millions of dollars. And this is a skill that's extremely valuable because it allows you to gather your thoughts and be able to communicate to someone, whether you're selling something or closing a deal or becoming a friend. This is such a powerful skill. Now, this is something that I work on constantly as I continue to make more YouTube videos, as I continue to create these webinars that sell my products and services. And honestly, the only way you can do this is doing it every single day. And that's why I say in law number 6, getting out of your comfort zone. So that could be maybe going on a live every single day and figuring out how you can master your communication. And honestly, you're gonna suck at first. If you go live and you've never done it before, it's gonna be weird, it's gonna be awkward, you're gonna pause for a second, you're not gonna know what to say. But as you continue to not only learn the skills, you're gonna learn how to communicate those skills as you continue to get better and better. So you see, all these laws that I mentioned, they all play a big role into each other. And if you follow all 7 of these laws, you're gonna be able to make a ton of money. Because honestly, you guys, I'm not very smart. I didn't have a super high IQ in high school. I had a very low GPA. I honestly hated school and I didn't do very good. But because I stepped out and I learned these 7 laws, this totally changed my life. It allowed me to quit my job. And now I've been able to do some amazing things I've never thought possible. So let me know down below if this video was of value and which law stood out most to you. Which one is the one that you want to focus on the most? Of course, they're all very important, but which one stood out to you most? Let me know down below. With that being said, we'll see you on the next video, and God bless.